Hi, it's Tansel here. Today we're going to talk about creating focus and the importance of creating focus, especially to be more productive. So let's go. Now, focus is one area that a lot of people come to me for my coaching services. And I always ask people, let's have a look at your life, see what's going on. And when I ask them all these questions, there's a ton of stuff going on in people's lives. And if you've got a lot of stuff going in your mind and in your life, well, guess what? You're not going to have much focus, are you? First thing that I'd say to people is just try and do an audit of your life. Write down all the things you're doing, what's on your mind, and so on. Write it down. Don't just think about it, because the more you write it down, you're going to come up with a huge list of all the things that are taking up mental space. Then what I'd like you to do is, after you've written down what takes up a lot of that mental space, try and see, okay, can I get rid of some of this stuff? For example, if you're worrying about stupid stuff that is really that you shouldn't be worrying about, well, obviously you're not going to get focus. There's not going to be much focus in your life, because now your mental space is taken up by stuff that, it shouldn't really be there. Try and cross those things off. I know some things are easy, some things are not. If you've got toxic people around you or you're in bad environments, yeah, that could play a lot on your mind, and it's hard to get focus and concentrate on work. So you need to be able to say, okay, how can I get rid of this little thing that's stopping me? So you might find better environments, or you might work somewhere else or study somewhere else, and so on. So come up with that list, come up with possible solutions. You don't have to know the answer, right? You just have to write down stuff, and you never know. You might actually get it in the first go, or you might write things down and then figure out a method from there. It's best to just write down whatever comes into your mind first, because you can always fix up things later on. So once you've written down all the stuff that's in your head, in your life, you've come up with some possible solutions. Next one's easy. You just got to execute now. So, okay, I've got to get rid of these 5 things in my daily life. How do I do it? I've got that written down. Let's go, bang. A lot of times you're going to struggle. Why? Because it's going to be the first time. It's like riding a bike for the first time. You're going to struggle a bit. You've got those training wheels on, you're going to go side to side, but eventually you'll go full steam ahead. You won't need those training wheels. What I suggest doing is try not to focus on your failures at the start. You're trying to make things happen. You're trying to get rid of those things in your head that are bothering you, and somehow it keeps coming back. Don't worry about that, right? Worry about the process of just making it happen. Just keep at it every single day, or whenever you're doing it, right? That's consistent, because consistency is the key, not necessarily daily. Yeah, you can do it daily, but if you're doing something like this 3 days a week, but you keep at it, is much better than not doing it at all. Be consistent, and eventually what you'll find is that once you get rid of that stupid stuff that's in your mind, then you'll magically start getting focus back. Now, you won't obviously get all of that back, so you have to have something to focus on. So you have to have priorities. You can't just get focus back from nothingness, right? By clearing your schedule in your mind. You gotta have something to focus on. Once you've gotten to that stage where, okay, your mind is clear, then you start prioritizing. Okay, what do I need to focus on, right? Is doing this gonna save me a bit more time? Should I invest in my time here, and so on? To get to that skill of prioritizing, you need to create that focus first. You can't just go in and do priority, because if you go in with priority first, I can guarantee what's gonna happen is all these stories in your head that's playing on you, it's gonna overwhelm you. And you're gonna have more things to worry about, because now you've got all the history and all the past of whatever crap that was in your head, as opposed to all the new stuff. And when all that comes together, guess what? You've got overwhelm, mental overwhelm. And if you've got mental overwhelm, guess what happens? You get nothing done, right? So you got to look at it step-by-step process. Try and clear your brain. You're not going to clear it fully, but as long as you clear some of it, right? Like I said, even if it's 5 things, even if it's just a couple of things, and you've got a little bit of weight off your shoulders, then you can start progressing. Create those priorities after you've cleared something in your brain. And then once you've got those priorities right, then the rest is execution, and you just got to execute. You got to be, religious on it. You got to go bang, bang, bang. This is all I got to do. And as you're executing, you're also looking at things that are taking up mental space in the meantime as well. So it could be things like your social media usage. You're watching YouTube all the time, or you're on Netflix, or so on, right? You may not realize it, but if you, again, write these things down, you might think, oh, okay, this is taking up quite a bit of time. I need to, cut these things out as well. And as you're cutting things out further, you're starting to create greater focus on this one thing as well. So now you're being super productive, right? A lot of people ask me, Tansel, why do you get so much done? I don't get it. And it's because I really don't have much in my brain, right? I don't have much to worry about. I just have my coaching clients and essentially that's it, and the value I can provide and the learnings that I do. So that's really what I have. And for me, I don't really get on social media much, so I'm not much of a social media person. I'm actually testing out this light phone too, so I'll do a little review on this, on productivity and how I went. But that's another little awesome strategy you can have as well, is, get off the smartphone altogether if you can be bothered, if you game enough. So there's other strategies you can go through, but for now, if you want to increase your focus, do those things that I mentioned. Try and identify what's taking up your mental energy and things that are just stupid that shouldn't be there. Write down the list. Don't just think about it, write it down. Try and eliminate as much as you can, no matter how small or big. Try and eliminate. Try and work on practicing on how to eliminate them as well, and then work on your priorities. And once you've got your priorities, execute. So hopefully that's helped you out. If you've got any questions, feel free to comment down below. You can also reach me on my website as well. I'll be doing more of these type of productivity, personal development, mental performance videos, because that's the stuff that I love. That's the stuff that I work with my clients, and you know what? Might as well share it with you as well, and hopefully you can benefit from them. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.